Space Program 1.7.1. This is going to be a different approach. I'm going to try to do this quick and make it short videos. This is an introduction to the career mode. It's by no means meant to be a tutorial, maybe more of a demonstration. So if you want a more lengthy tutorial, you should go look at my it's hour long, maybe more. But anyway, I'm going to put you on pause and then just come back and tell you what I did at the critical moments. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up and start a new game. I'm going to put you on pause. I'm not going to make you go through the setup. Thank you. Alright, the purpose of this game is same as the STEM program in education. It's an edutainment simulation so you can learn things while you have fun. You know, basically it's about engineering, science, piloting, space exploration. You're going to get a lot of math exposure in here, but the thing about space is you got to go do math so fast. It's usually computer assisted, so there's not a lot of math to do here, but you will be math is behind everything that's done here. So having said that, you can pause and read this if you want. It's no big deal. This is called Kerbal Space Center. First thing you do is go to Mission Control, launch our first vessel, and gather scientific data from Kerbal. You can have only 2, so you have to build a vessel. And how you do that is you go in here. You can pause and read that if you want. You start with a capsule. They don't give you anything to begin with. This is so you can learn properly and you're not overwhelmed and you don't skip steps along the way or overpower things. You know, it's about usually only taking what you need and only bringing back the scientific data. And anyway, it's all very interesting. First thing I'm going to do is yank power and fuel out of this. Maybe I'll give it an orange stripe. No, yellow, because the fins have yellow. And I'll turn this white. And for the future, I'm going to set the parachute auto at, let's just do 50 in the middle and about 1250. Alright, well, let's call this Z, save. Let's not forget to do our staging, otherwise the parachute opens as the first engine fires. Save. I usually let the engineer fly the first mission. And the reason I took the gas and power out of it is because we have a series of environments we call biomes, and we have to extract the science from the biomes. One of those is called the launch pad. It's right here. So what we can do is we can, one of these little containers is a science experiment. Observe mystery goo. So we'll keep that, and we'll bring it back to this station later for observation. Then we can do an EVA, that's extravehicular activity. We'll do an EVA report, collect, and board. Okay, now, other biomes besides the launch pad are the crawler way, the vehicle assembly building, the space plate and hangar, communications, space, astronaut complex, research and development. There's a mission control, there's administration, there's the runway. There's this whole apron area called the Space Center. And then, there, of course, there's mountains, hills, ocean, etc., etc., etc. What I'm going to try to do is land inside the Kerbal Space Complex. Alright, so I start off, and before I run out of gas completely, I'll just twist it a little this way. I hope I don't twist too much. Now, just as I ran out of gas, I'm going to straighten it out. That'll keep me from overshooting it. I think. That's the whole idea anyway. Now, while we're here and just waiting to lose momentum, we can observe a mystery goo in the air. And we'll keep that. And we can't do a EVA report because we're not allowed to leave our vehicle until a later stage in the game. So here we come back. And when I think I'm going to hit something, definitely, I'll go ahead and pull my chute now. That way we'll avert any collisions. It'll open about 12:50. It looks like we did pretty good, and if we don't snake down the front of it, we may land on the top of the vehicle assembly building. This is the building where we built this craft. So anyway, there is a way to accelerate time, but I think it changes things. It appears as if we are not, I repeat, not going to land on the top of it. So let's go ahead, hit this button. It accelerates things. We'll just land in front of it, that's fine. We could probably hit it with a couple tries. And I usually like to stop before I hit the ground. Okay, now that we've hit the ground, I'm going to do a thing called a crew report. Okay, we're going to read our mystery goo. And let's keep that. And we're going to do the EVA. Get the report. And we're going to board. Okay, then we're going to recover the vessel. And I'm going to try to move fast. You might have to pause if you want to see all this. So anyway, it looks like we have 33 points of science to spend. So I'm going to spend it there. I'm going to spend it here. I'm going to spend it here. And I'm out. I'll save that for later. I have to go back here, get more missions. We're going to escape the atmosphere and orbit Kerbin. Of course, we're not going to orbit Kerbin this time, but I am activating the mission. These are the ones that are important. Some of these you get stuck in. Never mind those unless you know what you're doing. All right. So, another thing that's going on is these buildings need to be upgraded. So if I upgrade this one, they can perform EVAs in altitude now, whether flying or space. So I'm going to do that, right like that. Okay. And if I could build my craft for less than 6,000, I will upgrade that now, but I don't think it's necessary. But I could, if I can build my craft for 6,000. Alright, so I'm going to take this craft, and I'm basically going to throw that bottom part away. Put on a heat shield. Oh. Put on a heat shield. We have these decouplers now. Gas tank. Am I happy with one? No. So I hold Alt. Hold Alt. Whoop. 4 should be fine. I can drag these up and do that. It makes them go away. Ooh, hate that design. Hate that more. Alright, we'll do that. There we go, like old school. Now we have these drag chutes now. Okay, let's call this Z1. And I'm just saving this in case I do something and it's wrong. Don't forget your staging. First one, next one. The parachutes are pre-programmed, so you can just put them when this separates. They just automatically go. Want 2 of these. And then we have new science experiments. We have the pressure barometer and the temperature thermometer. We also have the I just need one of those. An antenna. Okay, save. We'll change pilots. We could do a scientist this time, and this may not work. It may or may not work. Just because pilots have stability control and scientists actually are going to rely on the craft design. I'm going to assume that this craft design is clean. Actually, I could probably take one of these gas tanks out and make it shorter, a little more stable for the scientists, but let's go ahead and take a chance. Okay, so last time we were here on the launch pad, we did not get pressure data, and we did not get temperature data. So EVA, and we're just going to collect that data. And back in the ship. Okay, now this is real simple. We just kind of need to go up and leave the atmosphere. That happens at 70,000 meters. So let's just start and see what happens. That will be measured right here. Okay, I don't want to over accelerate on the change. He's moving too hard now. So that booster stops this one, goes. Don't roll. Kill your gas if you do. Okay, this is a pilot wouldn't be doing. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. That was called a rollover. Just trying to get it stabilized. Alright, so what we've got is 83 here. We're going to make that, and not only that, it's going to be a while before we get there. So let me try to get this under a little bit of control so we can do something like take a mystery glue reading, and this should say upper atmosphere. So if that says it's okay, so we're going to take this one, log pressure data, upper atmosphere. All right, and while we're tumbling around, we're going to take our log temperature data. We're going to keep that. We're going to do a crew report, and we're going to transmit that one immediately. Okay, I'm at 60. I need to do this next one before 70. Crew report's done. I go EVA. And I can do an EVA report, upper atmosphere, board. Okay, now I'm going to go back out and go EVA and collect the data. Okay, I think I just erased the upper atmosphere data unless I took it and did it all so fast. And now I bored, okay? So, did I get the upper atmosphere data? Pressure scan, upper atmosphere. Pressure scan, launch pad. Temperature scan, launch pad. EVA report, upper temperature scan, space. I need to do this one in space. Pressure scan in space. Alright. And I may need to... I'm having trouble catching it because I'm rolling. Alright, so I'm going to go back out on my EVA. I'm going to do an EVA report. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to take data, collect data, collect data, take data, restore, because he's a scientist, restore. Oh, I got take data. I got thermometers and stuff on the back side. That's why I was missing data. So we'll board anyway, throw away our duplicated experiments, but I was only supposed to have one, so I got confused. Anyway, at this point we're coming back down. We're kind of at the mercy of whatever happens. One thing we can do is lighten our load so we don't fall so fast, and that's by getting rid of that stage. We have our parachutes have already been fired, so now it's just a matter of waiting for us to come to the ground. I'll probably put it on pause so you don't have to watch this falling and the parachute opening. Let me just think how long it's going to take. Tell you what, this would be a good time to talk about the shape of this capsule. Look how it's spinning. It's naturally wants to fall in its teardrop shape to the ground. So anyway, it's going to go like this. What's happening now is we're getting friction and wind resistance just because of the speed we're moving through the air. It's creating heat, which just creates a little bit of glow, maybe some paint burning off, who knows what. And we're going to try to get to 265 before the chutes will open safely, and that should happen somewhere about 3,500 feet is our best guess. It's going to vary. It's based on pressure, so it depends on what planet I'm above. If your parachutes work on Kerbal, they may work differently on another planet in terms of pressure when they open. Yeah, see, that was between 3,000 and 3,500 when all the chutes came out. These have opened at 2,000, and this will open where I have it set, I think 1,200. Anyway, I'm basically going to put it on pause because it's just floating to the ground now. Recovery. I'll come back in a second and show you the science we got. All right, here we are back. I just wanted to show you, since we're scientists, we did forget to take a crew report in space, but we're going to be going to space again, so we'll just get that next time up. We landed here, and since we're scientists, we've reset everything. So you can just run all your experiments here too. And we won't need to collect these, we'll just collect the ship and they'll go straight back to the Space Center. Let's not forget our crew report here. Since we forgot one there, we'll get a measly 1.5 instead of the 10 or 12 we would have got in space. But that's alright, we have to do that here, and we didn't have the electricity, so we had to leave one behind. So we'll leave that big one behind and get it later. EVA report. Okay, so These are just small science points for right now. Things we can learn from our environment around us. It's a lot, but it's not as much as we can learn from space. So recover the vessel. Alright, look at this now. We have 210. I was wanting to get this increased. I want to get this increased. I want to get this increased or upgraded. With these 130.9 points, we'll get 20 here. Okay, I always do it in this order. If I don't have enough, this is the order I do it in. And if I'm moving slow and playing a slow game, this is also the order I do it in. But look, we have 3 more, and I sometimes avoid this one because it's aviation. I don't do anything with it until I want to make airplanes. But it does give you parts you can use on rockets. But it's also 45 science points early in the game. Now going back, we still have the orbit Kerbal mission, which we're going to do now, and we're going to succeed. And the only ones I recommend you take here, or if it says launch test at launch site, all these focus surveys consider later. Right now your only goal is to get out of Kerbal. I'm going to go build the ship and put it on pause while I do that. Okay, this is the craft I've built. I'm going to call it Z2, how original. I'm going to show it to you real quick, and then I'm going to put you on pause again. What this is 2 heavy at 33. We can only have 18 and 30 parts, so I have 2 more parts I can put on, which would be batteries if we have them. Do we have batteries? Yes. So I would put on 2 batteries. I was trying to put on 3 because of those 3 engines I have. Just squeeze that in. There we go. Alright, so now I have 30 parts, but I'm over mass. So I'm going to save that. I need to check this when I come back. I'm going to leave for a second. And remember, it was 33, so if I spend 50,000 here, I should be able to go to 39.6. So we went ahead and we've upgraded that. We're now level 2 there. We upgraded that last time, and we could upgrade this if our ship costs less than 10.5. So let's look at that. What's our ship cost? 15.4. So let's go ahead. We don't need that. We'll get that when we come back. So let me check this real quick. Something's missing. Yeah. You could tell because the staging looked funny. I had 2 engines on the same stage. It's like, okay, that'll blow up. Alright, so the 3 on the bottom, then their decoupler. This is the next to fire. Then the decoupler, the next to fire, and then the reserve parachutes, and then the main parachute. That's good. Save. Alright, now, pilot. It's important to have a pilot here. And I'm going to send Valentina. And there's also a thing called action groups, which I'm not going to show you right now. There's really nothing to put action to. Oh, save. Let's go launch. $30 parts. Let's see why. 31. What happened? Okay. So I'm not sure. I thought it said. Oh, I put in a decoupler. I put in 2 batteries and then I put in a decoupler. So what I'm going to do is just have 1 battery. And then I'm going to set this battery up so we don't use electrical charge, then we use it off of this one, and I'll turn this back on just as we decouple. That way we make sure we can keep all the energy in this battery that's necessary, or for as long as possible until we run out. Anyway, let's go. So, save, launch. Alright, 30 parts. Now, there's different ways to do this. This is just one way. There's even ways to do this with less parts and probably cheaper. But let's just turn on the stability control like pilots get. You saw that pop open right there. And then we're just going to open this, and we're going to be watching different things. Alright, one thing I want to see is at 200 meters per second, at 2,300 meters above sea level, moving faster than 100 meter per second vertical rise. So at 300, 3,007, yes, it looks like we made it. We missed looking, but we actually made it. So these engines are just burn, 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 burn. And it looks like they're going to take us all the way to 73,000 feet. So there's nothing to do at the moment except take a ride to about 70. If we had any science we needed to do at the moment, we could. But I think we did all the upper atmosphere science before. So this is what I call the elevator ride up. It's just a free ride. See, we're at 40. We aren't going to stop till we go to 70. You can see this number's on a slight decline. But at 50, I'm going to perform the Korolev Cross. This is a Russian guy who probably is the true pioneer of space and the reason we're successful at it. And let me just show you. So they go out this way, equal in all directions, and sometimes they roll. Anyway, it's a symmetrical pattern. Alright, so somewhere around 65, I'm going to turn this thing, and I'm going to fire this engine. And I'm not going to stop till I hit 2250. Well, I might coax it a little, but that's the whole idea. So I'm late. Now let's go look at another view here, and we were late, so it may be a problem. This is called the apoapsis, and our data is locked right now because we're not advanced enough, but you can see we're moving towards it. And I have not reached my 2,200 feet per second yet, or 2,200 meters per second. So I'm going to move this out like this. And if you notice, as I move away from it, like this, it starts to move away from me. And then I can move back towards it, and it'll either run with me at equal speed or come towards me. And I'm doing that by moving the level, the angle, pitch angle is what we call it. So I'm moving the pitch angle back and forth, and I can play this game all day long. Oh, we ran out of gas, right? Yep. So now I'm with this engine, and I have less power now, so it's a little more sensitive. I mean, I thought I might have to go higher up on my pitch, but let's go ahead and keep it in front of us, but not too far. I just like it to run at equal speed, but then everything changes constantly in this world. You can see. Okay, now the other way to control this is with your gas pedal. And you can see I can gas it and it goes away, and I bring it down. So that's the other way. So it's a combination of running your gas up and down. And you can see I'm going to try to achieve 72. I'm just playing now. So we'll come in. I should hit it at any moment. Alright, so we're in space now. 70, 72. We've just achieved it. We come back here. We see Valentina now has a star. She just earned experience and leveled up immediately because that's how I set it up. If you don't set it up that way, you have to wait till she returns before she gets her increase. But what that does is this gives her these nodes, control nodes. They are called retrograde and prograde. This would be pro, and the one that goes down is retro. The one that points across that looks like airplanes that fly up will be called prograde. The ones that look like a submarine or have down points pointing down, two pointing down, is retrograde or down or backward or small. This is at your control. Stability at your control. Set it anywhere. Like, go here. Stop there. It doesn't care. It's just going to help you hold wherever you put it. You can turn it off if you don't want to burn the electricity, but pilots get a freebie. So, we've achieved a goal. What you don't want to do is turn around and come home immediately. Oh, I want to show you. Look at all that gas we have. I think we could do a fly by the moon with this this craft. We really could. So what we're going to do is come home immediately, leave her in space. And there's a reason that we do that, because we're going to get paid money. If we don't do this, we don't get this mission. Explore Kerbin, which says, you have enough fuel left. Come, we want those parts back. So it's actually going to pay you 32,000 and give you 11 of it now and 20 when you complete it, which is easy. You just back the gas off and come flying home. Alright, if it's possible, you can look through these and see if they can be performed. You can usually see over here. They show you the so this one says above 18.9. If you want to take time to do Montano's Wonder, you could probably do that one, but you're going to have to do one extra circle around the planet. So let's go back. We'll find Montano's Wonder. This is all about milking the money, the milk money. Werner, no. Sector 8, no. Montana's Wonder. Take a crew report in flight above 18.9 near Montana's Wonder. You could actually do that while you were coming in to land, as long as you didn't drop below 18.9 in that sector. You're lined up perfect, so yeah, let's take that one and not forget. You'll have an opportunity to do it again. We always are landing at Kerbin, or Kerbal Space Center. Anyway, did I turn my camera off? Have you missed me? Am I even recording? Let me check. Ah, yes. It's a 34-minute and 20-second video so far, and we have money, so I wanted to upgrade that, so I'm going to upgrade that while we're here. Alright, and I don't know if I could upgrade anything else that I want to right now, as opposed to saving that money for this building, which is 225, and then after that this building, which is 451. So I could upgrade that, and then that would let me take more missions, which could mean more money. It also means more hassle, more responsibility, more time. It creates a little bit of a grind, and I'm showing the fast track here. So maybe we should go back and bring Valentina home. You do that by coming here, clicking on that, and fly. So we've accepted the mission to bring her home. It's going to be worth $20,000 more when we do. And we have to remember to do that mission report when we get there. That crew report as we fly over this. That just before Kerbal Mountains now. Let me show you something. You hit the less than key. It's also the period. I'm sorry, it's the greater than key. I get my greater thans or less thans confused. But anyway, it looks like an arrow, and we're going to push it 4 times. And we're going to come flying around the planet. Okay, then we're going to stop it right there. If you notice, our high point is above Kerbal, and our low point is opposite on its back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on 50. Actually, I'm going to put that on 50. So I'm opposite of the planet, and I'm putting it on 50. Now, if this messes us up with this, so be it. We'll just get it next time. Like I said, that's in line. That one's not going to be a problem. It looks like the others have disappeared, or that's only active missions, and because we're in a different map, even though it looks the same. Alright, so basically we're coming back in, and you need to come in tail first. And I could have got more experience by doing something called EVA reports. There's about 10 or 12 of them. It's like I fly over the mountains, I get an EVA report. And that's from space. And I'll fly over the desert, and I get EVA. And then I fly over water, and I get an EVA report. It's 10 points per. And then if you go north to south, you can get the Badlands and the poles and the ice shelves. So there's like, I believe, 8 around the equator and maybe 6 the other way. There could be 8. Don't hold me to it exactly. As soon as I say something for sure, it'll be wrong. I'm doing everything by memory and feel here. I'm not working from a script or anything like that. We're actually just kind of coasting in. I was showing you how to get a little closer to landing at Kerbin. That's by putting it on the opposite side of the planet and dropping your altitude to 50. This brings you in at a pretty shallow angle. If you come in at a steep angle, steep is more heat, more friction, more speed. It's more stuff to deal with. We're going to get into something called atmospheric braking. When we hit the air, we get resistance against it, so it kind of slows us down. And believe it or not, the atmospheric resistance is a more powerful force than gravity, which is really hard to fathom, because the gravity, it yanks us around, we use it, gravity assist, the boomerang effect, where we'll come flying around the planet and then hit the gas, so it slingshots us in a faster direction than we would had we just normally hit it from a regular circle. Anyway, as you go around from apoapsis to periapsis, you'll speed up and slow down. Your speed changes unless those two numbers are almost the same. Let me check the time. I was trying to keep this under an hour. Good. We just passed the 40-minute mark, and we're coming in. I'm going to put you on pause and get a little closer to our atmosphere. What we're doing is just flying through at about 50,000. We're going to start to pick up heat. About 40,000, we're going to start to overheat some things, and then we hope we start to cool down. And I have a lot of gas in here too, so I can actually use these jets to slow us down, or this rocket. But if I do that, I know we're going to miss our crew report. Am I able to even do a crew report? Can I do a crew report now? Useless. Alright, so one thing I need to do is turn on our batteries. I did forget to do my crew report in space and transmit it back. That was one of my goals. I said next time and missed it. Next time. If I keep saying that, it'll never be a next. It'll always be a next time. Now, eventually you get it. What you're doing is penalizing yourself about 10 research points, which might mean you don't get a series of parts on time, which is a pain, and it happens naturally. And we have a solution on a little side mission. John, I can show you that. Whatever hit this was big. This is like our Tonga crater on planet Earth. It's really nice. What they say, 80,000 years ago, or was it 800,000 years ago? Oh my God, if you watch enough Discovery TV, all these numbers get jumbled in your head, and between people with their fake stuff and their made up stuff and their speculative stuff and their conspiracy stuff. Not to mention they mix all that stuff in with real stuff, and then there's documentaries that are all real stuff. Man, your head gets full of stuff. You don't know what's real and what's not. So, my goodness. I know the physics realism in this particular simulation. We had a thing called a physics overhaul at 1.3.1, and that was something about the parts were based on mass and value, not like aerodynamics and proper something or other ballistics. And basically the modders, people that if you tried to demonstrate how things normally work in life, it would kind of behave like that. But then these modders go and find exploits and do crazy shit. Oh, crazy things. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep this G-rated. You kids don't say that. If you heard me say the S word, you don't get to say it too. I slipped. Anyway, crazy stuff. It's crazy. It's so much. And but anyway, we tried to update the physics and make it as real as we possibly can with the Unity engine and scripting, and the community exploited it and make these YouTube videos and just think it was so funny. Look at this. What can I do? And they're basically showing off and doing these ego boost things and showing that the game has major problems. You know, I'm sorry, it's not a game. It's a education simulation programming. Anyway, you know, some things acted real and looked real, but they just weren't. So we did this overhaul, realism overhaul, and people were flipping out because their airplanes wouldn't fly anymore. They'd build these things that would fly. They're all their machines, and they were so proud of them, and now they don't fly. So what happened is we kind of back to the drawing board with design. It much more stimulating, I'm telling you, with the realism overhaul. You can still get things to fly that shouldn't, but you have to give them enough thrust, and then you have drag and force on. The only cheat I've seen, or exploit I've seen, not a cheat, but the exploit I've seen is if you don't put nose cones on your solid boosters, for some reason they don't have drag, or something like that. There's an unattached surface, and the program script is not registering drag. It just kind of like throws it away. So always use nose cones or you're exploiting. Don't leave unattached forward surfaces like this little parachute cap here. You should always put something on that cap, or your vehicle may behave. And like I said, it's an exploit. I don't want to say cheat, but it's going to take, you'll burn less gas. You're going to get a little bit further. It definitely could build bad habits, but if realism is the name of the game, then always cap your open ends. And shh, don't tell the kids. Anyway, sometimes I'll make a 30-part ship, and I have to sacrifice a part because it's 32 or 31, and I promise, if I have to sacrifice, I'm known to lose the caps. It's just because you can fly without them, and this is before I knew about this exploit. Now I almost will throw away an antenna or a battery before I cap, but before it was like, aha, and I didn't even know that it was assisting me in a, an exploitive fashion, but my ships were flying, that's for sure. Now this one, by the way, I don't always do this. Sometimes I just come back with a gas tank like half the size of this. This is a huge tank, and I don't even know why I have it. What we should have done is come to that Tonga place. Oh, did we miss the runway? Okay, right over here is the desert runway, unless it's, yeah, it's right over here on the side of these hills. So we have a runway and a launch facility in the desert. Let me make sure I'm not giving you bad info. Yes, right there. So that would be this formation, is this formation. Right on the other side of it, in front of that little blemish there, right in here, is a runway to land your airplane on, and also a small launch pad to launch from. And then we used to have a launch facility up, looks like we still do, like a Baikonur, but this one's Woomerang, whatever that means. Ooh, Baikonur wasn't really Baikonur. It was in a town probably called Woomerang. I don't know, something like that. Woman, what? Anyway, they called it the Baikonur launch facility because they were paranoid that the enemy was stealing their secrets, and they were, of course. But the facility wasn't at Baikonur, so when Baikonur became public, they had to change the name of the town that the facility was really in to Baikonur. Now, we still have another Baikonur. There's Baikonur, Old Baikonur, and New Baikonur. And the Old Baikonur is just a little mining town nowhere near the launch facility. And the little town by the name of which I can't remember, but that may be where they get the Woomerang. It no longer exists by name anymore, and we now call it Baikonur. Alright, so I'm supposed to... Oh! Let me check the time on the video. Alright, 49. Pretty good. 49, and we're already running through our ROV. We've already achieved orbit and returned home. The only mission that's left is the 4th mission, which is fly by the moon. And we could do that with this craft that I've built with no additional changes. The one thing I am trying to achieve is being over 18,009 feet at the crew report site which is right here. We're at 40,000 now. We're at 0 here. I should be at about 20,000 feet when we hit that. Now, I don't really want to... I want to keep this if I can. So... it may be keeping me from dropping in speed, but I may use it over the mountains of Kerbin. If I don't need to throw it away before then anyway. I'm going to go back here and check my progress. You can see this is shrinking. But, okay, this is called Montano's Wonder. And it's just after the desert and the highlands before the mountains. At 18.9. If I'm not 18.9, above 18.9. And then let me check and make sure I can do a crew report. Yes, I can. So it's going to be right in here. And it's going to pop a little sign over here. It'll say, "You're now entering Montano's Wonder." We'll do a crew report. If you flash between map and back, sometimes you miss it, because, alright, we're entering it. Crew report. Alright. So we can just throw it away instantly, and it shows that we did it. And you can see our engine is now heating up, but it doesn't look like it's going to flame out. I am going to miss Kerbin if I don't use this engine now, and I'm going to start about now. Start hammering it. Now, one thing I don't want to do is fall short. So this line's coming back. It doesn't look like it can travel back fast enough. But I'll still flash back and forth between. Alright, like I said, this is just a little, there's no bonus points. This is just something I do for fun. When I come back, I try to land at Kerbal Space Center. And I'm hammering it now. Didn't help any. Oh, looky there. Looky there, looky there, looky there. Alright, so it looks like I just ran out of gas. I'm going to dump that. Okay, it does. It looks like I'm going to fall short. Not on. But what we do have is a heck of a view, and they do too. So while I'm falling, my parachute's already pulled. I'll log my temperature data, log pressure data. What am I getting from? Oh, just for flying. Crew report. Good. I can't use it, so less than half of a point. So if we land in some place we've never been before, then we'll get to keep do all that science and let's do an EVA report. Take data, collect data, board. And then I'm going to take this crew report, review report, I'm going to transmit it. And we can only do that once. And then we will see if I would have landed on this property, which was kind of what I was trying to do. I know I could have got the experience off that. If I would have landed inside the facility, then that would have been even better. So I'm going to speed it up. Alright, under an hour. And I've already knocked out all 3 missions. So you should be able to knock out all 3 missions too. In that same amount of time. I did not take that much time building vessels or waiting for things to happen or leaving you in the dark. I was just trying to keep this video under an hour, which I did, and knock out as much as possible. First thing we're going to do is check by crew report, and it looks like we've already been to the grasslands. If it's half a point, we'll take it. If it's a 0.2, we'll take it. If we forgot anything, we'll take it too. Alright, I'm going to check for EVA because I remember doing it. So recover vessel. Now, dang it, if I would have stopped my retros sooner, we would have either hit the water or Kerbal, and we'd be about 12 to 15 experience points ahead of ourselves. If I would have remembered to get the crew report in space, we'd be 22 research points ahead of where we are now. So I owe myself like a 22-point scolding. Nonetheless, we have 61 points to film. 22 would be 83, right? So let's see what it cost us. These are 45 each. I can have 1. If I would have had 83, I couldn't have had 2. Even though 2 would be nice. And before I do my flyby of the moon, I want this one because it has a solar panel. No other reason. Well, it has this little feature that allows us to have unmanned, and I'm not sure this is a new thing. I need to look at that, figure it out. Okay. It does science when set up by engineers. Groundbreaking science. So how interesting. I'll have to look and see how that works. That's part of the new thing. So I actually need 90 here. I only have 61 here. So before I do my flyby of the moon, which is next, I'll show you explore the moon, fly by the moon, check. We'll take it. We can have 2. Once again, I don't recommend you do anything unless it's from the launch pad, or you know, you can give tourist rides for money, conduct surveys like crew reports like I just did. Sometimes they pay, sometimes it's just small money, and you're better off progressing fast, or I mean, unless you want to make it a grind. But let me show you one way to get some quick science. You build a new craft like that. Come down here, you put your science on it. Only need 1. Now we do have a new science experiment. That's this science junior thing right here. Okay, that's all of it. So then it doesn't matter who's on it. We can try to give Jebediah some experience before he goes on his trip to the moon. This is role-playing, of course. A little bit of familiarity time behind the controls. which actually would be a normal thing. Have you go out, sit in the field, or sit in this, like it's like a simulator. Sit on the launch pad, flip buttons. Anyway, so he's in here. I'll show you. Hit this. There he is. So we're just going to grab some extra science. It's the same thing as before. Now, had I had my 22 that I'm missing, then I wouldn't have to go through this 3 times. All right, now this is a good one. See, 7.5. All right, so let's recover and see what it gets us when we do that. Now, I can take this to the other launch pad, the vehicle assembly pad. All right, so now we're up to a total of 81. Remember, I need 90 before I can go to the moon. So we'll go back here. And I told you we had a desert runway too, didn't I? Desert airfield. We also have the island airfield. So let's just go to the desert airfield. And all we need is like 10 science points, and then we're good. Points missing. I may not even have had to do that. Okay, there's 7.5. We can go. Actually, we need a little bit more. We'll get everything while we're here. And then this is going to be the end of this video once we purchase our fly by the moon. Then the beginning of the next video is going to be fly by the moon and probably land on the moon. And had I upgraded another building, which it's way too early anyway, I'm just speculating or talking about the future, we could be taking surface samples. Now remember this, we got to come back and take surface samples in all these places again. So I guess we're going to be flying in and out of this runway. There's the launch pad over there. Yeah, over here's the launch pad. There's the buildings. There's the power. Alright, so let's recover the vessel. I bet I just went over now. Yep, about 3 minutes. And what we want to do here is, well, accept all this. And come in here so we don't forget next time. And we absolutely need a solar panel to go flying by the moon. Actually, you don't. But it makes me feel better. And you absolutely do if you have the source of automation and you're choosing to like send a scientist, someone other than a pilot. A pilot can do it without a solar panel because he'll basically won't utilize electricity, he'll use his skill. Whereas other people try to like use autopilots and other assist modes. Whereas the autopilot or the pilot uses his training and what's inside himself. So he can do things that the scientist and engineer can't do. Anyway, this is going to be the end of this video. Like I said, my next video is going to be fly by the moon, orbit the moon, and land on the moon. And I'll try to get that done in an hour or two. So anyway, thank you for watching.